Hi guys, welcome to another video. So I done a video on the V88 Mini 3 just a few days ago. I done a review on it and it's quite a decent box. It's got its issues, of course. I wouldn't recommend it for a new user, but it's cheap enough and it's quick as well. It's running Nugget, of course, and we all want the latest operating system and it seems to handle it pretty well. Some things don't work, some things could be improved upon, certainly coding could be improved upon when running on it, but overall, for the money, it's not a bad piece of kit. Now the interesting thing is there is a development board called the Rock64. Now that is also running the 3328 Rockchip processor, which is also in the V88. So I thought to myself, I wonder if we could get some of the developments that are available for the Rock64 to work on the V88. So I had a look and there is lots of different versions of Linux, such as Ubuntu Mate. There's also a few servers and Debian etc. available. There's also Libreelec available. Now I thought, oh well, we could burn them onto an SD card to see how we get on. Obviously they are built for the 3328. So they are designed to work on the Rockchip processor, but there's a lot more to it than that, and certain things might not be, because obviously the motherboard on this, it will be a totally different design to the Rock64. So I thought, let's give this a go, let's see what happens. So my name is Matthew and welcome to the MXQ project. So welcome to Libreelec. To my surprise, it's booting. As you can see, it's going through the initial boot stages, and this is, I'm totally shocked by this actually, because this doesn't normally happen, especially for a system like a development board. They're totally different motherboard designs. They're not nearly the same as a TV box like this, and the chances of it actually working were very, very slim. But it's done it. It's actually worked. Now I'm going to let this run through and get to actually, the first setup sequence where we actually input all our data and etc. into Libreelec. Now there is a problem and we're going to get to that just now. So as you can see, we're on the Libreelec start menu, and you're probably all used to this if you've ever seen any of our other videos or even a Raspberry Pi. You've used the Libreelec on something like that, you'll know. But this sort of guides you through it. So if we go through it, it's just all the same, but this is what I expected really. Wi-Fi is obviously not going to be supported. The Wi-Fi chipsets on these V88 Mini 3s, they'll be totally different to the ones used on the Rock64, even if the Rock64 maybe doesn't even have a built-in Wi-Fi chip. You maybe have to get an external one. I'm not actually sure what's actually available on that development board. Now, if we go through further, we can see it works absolutely fine. I haven't tested any videos or anything on this, but I suspect it'll work pretty well regardless of what you're actually doing it. But the only thing is, Ethernet doesn't work either. I've actually got an Ethernet cable plugged in right now, and it doesn't work, so it's pretty much useless. Now I thought, well, we've compiled a few things in the past. If there's enough interested in it, maybe we can get the source code available. As you can see, we've access the source code pretty easily. All you need to do is compile it, but make sure you compile the right Wi-Fi drivers and the right Ethernet drivers in with the actual source code, and then compile it, and then you'll be able to pump out a image file appropriate for your box. Now whether that's will have enough interest, I don't know. You guys can tell me if you want that, and maybe we can get around to actually doing that for you guys if you want it. I'm not sure how many actual TV boxes come with the 3328. If there's a fair few of them, maybe it'd be actually worthwhile actually doing it. So let's move on now. Let's try one of the Linux distributions. Now I've already tried one of the servers and it runs. Now this is actually the desktop. This is Ubuntu Mate desktop, and as you can see, it's booted straight away. It's running through the initial code. I'm going to let this run through and then I'll come back when we're actually to the desktop. So welcome to the Ubuntu Mate desktop. It's booted and it's working, and it's running just fine. Unfortunately, it's the same scenario as Libreelec. There's no Ethernet drivers, there's no Wi-Fi drivers for the V88, obviously built into this operating system for the Rockchip 3328. Obviously it's because it was originally made for the Rock64 development board, and they never envisioned this ever working on this particular TV box, but there we go, it's working. So we know that we can get this running just fine on this particular box. Now obviously we've not got Wi-Fi, we've not got Ethernet, and you know, so it's pretty much dead in the water basically as far as the usability. We can obviously, you know, play around with it, see what it can do, and see if we can do some cool things with it. But as far as internet usage, etc., it's not going to work obviously until we've got those drivers installed. So we've got like LibreOffice here, and it seems to be running quite well. I mean, it's, you know, we've got to remember it's you know, it's an ARM-based processor, so it's not the fastest. So things aren't going to run like on a, you know, a proper desktop PC, etc. If you've ever seen like our videos on Ambient for like the MXQ S5 or S905, they all run about the same sort of speed. The S912, for example, is pretty good. It's pretty snappy actually when it comes to running Ubuntu. And this is, well, as you can see, it's not loading things fast. Improvements obviously could be made as development moves on with this. This is obviously made for the Rock 64, so development has been you know, pretty good from what I can see on the GitHub. There's been releases, you know, quite frequently, so hopefully, you know, those improvements will continue. And as you can see, you know, things aren't loading up properly, so there's certainly improvements that certainly need to be made. But you know, that's development, and that's just the way it is. You know, we've got to keep working at things and keep moving things forward to actually get the best out of it, especially on, you know, TV boxes, as we can see on the MXQ S5 version of Ubuntu. It's a lot better than this actually. If you've ever seen our videos, this actually LibreOffice is just not loaded up properly at all. It's an utter mess a bit, but it's certainly fun to play around with it and have a look and see what it's capable of. It's running a bit slow actually. I mean, we go to the terminal, not the terminal, sorry, let's get out of that. Let's go to like the system monitor, that's the one, that's what I'm looking for. We can have a look, see what it's pushing on the hardware, and you know, we're only using 364 meg or 2 GB of RAM. The CPU usage isn't under heavy load, so obviously, you know, the operating system needs some work to actually work properly on this processor, but you know, it works. It's great. I just love seeing this sort of stuff running on these things, especially, you know, this V88 mini is so cheap, it's ridiculous, and we've got a full operating system running on it. Yeah, and we've got, you know, Ubuntu Mate running on it. You know, it's not perfect, but you know, it just goes to show what these things are capable of when you put a little bit of time and effort into actually making things run. Let's see if this runs. I'm sure I've never really played these sort of games before. I mean, there's Sudoku. I've never played it, but there we go. It's actually loading it up. We'll go for easy because I haven't a clue what I'm doing. Still don't know what I'm doing, but there we go. There we go. It's running just fine. Yeah, it's just a shame about the Ethernet. Even if it worked a little bit, even if it wasn't that great, I mean, it would be good. But the Rock 64's got a gigabit Ethernet connection. The V88 Mini 3 has just got, you know, a standard sort of Ethernet connection. So those drivers obviously are totally different. I'm assuming if the Rock 64 had that, you know, standard Ethernet connection, it would probably work right now. Obviously the Wi-Fi isn't going to work because there's that many Wi-Fi drivers available for all sorts of different Wi-Fi chipsets. You know, we'll be here all day trying to, you know, figure out which one are compatible with this and so on. So it'd just be a case, I guess, of recompiling it just like Libreelec and trying to build in those correct Wi-Fi drivers. There's a lot more to it than that, but you know, it's just the way things you have to do. Obviously, I don't know if this was an utter fluke or there's some reason why Libreelec and Ubuntu are actually running on this motherboard. Maybe the actual design of the motherboard isn't too different. It's normally down to actually, you know, the way it's built and the way it's put together that determines whether it's going to run or not. There's a lot more to it than that, of course. I'm just simplifying it, but you know, because when these TV boxes are made, actually, you know, these factories will produce a certain amount of these boards of one design. So this board is actually running version 1.0, and they'll move on to like 2.0, and they'll change the design totally. So the chances are, if they actually do that, this will maybe stop running. There's a good chance of that, and I've seen that happen on like the MXQ box and stuff like that, which is a shame, but there we go. But it's just interesting to have a look. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along with me, and do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Maybe we can do something with this, maybe we can do something in the future, and if these become quite a popular board, then maybe it would be worth, especially Libreelec, because that's a really good operating system to run on these really cheap boxes. So there, thanks for watching guys, and we shall see you in the next video.